Hello and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Ronnie Lambert, bringing to you what I think the banks, the credit bureaus, the collection companies don't want you to know about your credit, what the IRS does not want you to know about the tax code, and lately, what the government doesn't want you to know about going to school, getting good grades, getting a good job, job security, going to college, and all that stuff. So today I'm going to talk about, what's going on with this COVID-19, what you can do to come out of this much better off than when you went into it. And I know it's going to be tough, and I know you're hurting right now, and probably financially you're hurting pretty big time. So today I'm going to talk about a strategy, what you can do to come out of this looking better than you did going into it. So all right, let's get to it. First, let's talk about credit cards. Well, actually, let me back up just a little bit. I want to start this out this way. The Fair Credit Report Act. So the Fair Credit Report Act in 1970 was recently modified by Donald Trump. It was modified as well 2 years ago and then modified about 2 weeks ago. And the new modification says that any reporting being done right now by the banks, by furnishers, so if it's a credit card company, a bank, anybody who furnishes data to the credit reporting agencies, Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, Inverness, or any of the other dozens of other credit bureaus out there, regardless of whether or not you are making your payments on time, it must be reported as paid as agreed. So what does that mean for you? That means that if you're struggling financially right now, you have until July 15th to figure it out, to get all your payments caught up. So if you're struggling and it's a choice, do I buy groceries or do I pay my credit card? Do I buy groceries or do I make my car payment? You buy groceries. I know that sounds extreme, but the average American's paycheck to paycheck. The average American's 2 weeks away from bankruptcy. The average business, 58% of businesses are within 10 days of filing bankruptcy, completely closing down. 72%. This is shocking. I learned this recently. 72% of all small businesses in America, and there's 77 million Americans relying on small businesses, close to 30 million small businesses. Anything under 500 employees is considered small business. 72%. If they close down for more than 30 days, they will never reopen, which is why the Trump administration is pushing for the EIDL and the PPP loan, which the Democrats are blocking again. Nancy Pelosi recently said she doesn't see why business owners, small business needs this funding. Well, we need it because 77 million Americans are relying on businesses to reopen here in a few weeks. So I don't know where Nancy's living, but where I live in Boise, Idaho, everything's shut down just like it is everywhere else in the world, and businesses are not making money. Most are not. So they're trying to make sure, they're trying to push this money through. It's $1 trillion. They've already released $250 billion. They're trying to get another $250 billion to give to small businesses. If you are a business owner and you have not applied for EIDL loan, I highly recommend you do it. If you're a business owner with payroll, apply for a PPP loan, which is Paycheck Protection Program. EIDL is Economic Injury Disaster Loan. If you want to know how to apply for that, go to my YouTube channel, look under Ronnie Lambeth, go to my YouTube channel, find it. I did a whole I did a whole video on how to fill out the loan. Note in the loan application. Know this, it's changed. It's changed every single day since then, and that was a week ago. And it continues to change. The dollar amounts change, the forgiveness amount. But go to my YouTube channel under Ronnie Lambeth, and there's a video there going over how to fill out the SBA paperwork. So if you're a business owner and you haven't done the PPP loan or the EIDL loan, do that right away. If you are an employee and you have not applied for unemployment insurance and you are currently furloughed or unemployed, you need to fill out the unemployment insurance because they are releasing that fairly quickly. So back to the Fair Credit Report Act. It did get modified. There will be no reporting of late payments until July 16th. So until July 15th is the cutoff. July 16th, you got until really July 15th, 16th, as of right now, to catch up your payments, get everything together. I predict that it will extend till the end of the year. That's my prediction on that. I also predict that there'll be some type of law that says they can't charge you interest penalties on the money or late payments until the end of the year as well. Right now, it's July for the reporting. Nothing about interest and payments and stuff. And so the way it's working right now is you have essentially most banks. So if you have a car loan or credit card, they're giving you a 90-day extension, including on your mortgages, a 90-day extension on your payments. What does that mean? Well, if you got a credit card payment or car payment, you can skip the next 90 days or 3 months. But on the 4th month, that payment's due in full. All 4 months are due in full as of right now. I predict that, again, there'll be a law that says they cannot do that and that we just roll it onto the back of the loan. But right now it's so up in the air and it's so crazy that I think they're just trying to figure it out as they go. It's kind of like an entrepreneur working on the airplane as they fly it. So if you're not making your payments, it's okay. It's going to be okay. Even if, let's say that they don't come out with this law in July and you can't catch up, and then you have what's called a rolling 30 or rolling 60. The good news is I'm going to be able to help you with the credit afterwards. I really think, though, the government will come up with a law that says you have until the end of the year to catch up everything. But if they don't stress out about it. It's not a 7 to 10 year sentence. You can get in touch with my company. We are doing this for free. That's right. I'll repeat that. I will fix your credit for free. No strings attached. We're doing it right now for free. So if you have bad credit now, I highly recommend you get in touch with my office and you get going now. Again, this show is about wealth and taxes and credit. It's not an advertisement for Fortress Credit Pro. With that being said, a lot of you are hurting. A lot of you are suffering. I'm offering to fix your credit absolutely free of charge. Go to rondylambert.com/free credit repair. rondylambert.com/free credit repair. And you can get signed up for free. Okay? So if you do get behind, we'll fix it for free. And then you don't have to stress out about it. Okay? Don't have to stress out about it. So what can you do? If you got credit cards, I highly recommend you call each and every one of your credit card companies. Be prepared to be on the phone for a very long time. Now, if you have a lot of time, put it on speakerphone because you're going to be on the phone for probably 2 hours to get through. Or you can wait until this kind of calms down a little bit and then ask for forgiveness and work out the payment thing later because they can't report you late anyway. And they're not going to be charging you penalties and stuff. So if it was me, I'd probably wait till it calms down, until people get back to work, and then I'd start calling. Your rent, if you're a renter, during this time, you can also skip your lease. You will owe that money later. So I would highly recommend that you pay your lease in front of your car payments and credit card payments. But if it comes down to it, and it's either rent or food, you buy food. And here's the thing. I'm not talking about Postmates. I'm not talking about Uber Eats. I'm talking about going to the grocery store and buying ramen noodles, beans and rice. You eat beans and rice prior to not paying your bills. All right? You're not going to be spoiled and get Postmates and Uber Eats. If you're getting food delivered to you, then that means you have enough money to pay your bills. Okay? But if you got a choice between beans and rice and ramen noodles and hot dogs and rent, then you buy the food, not going out to dinner, right? Not bringing food in and having it delivered. So call the credit card companies, call your car loan company. Most of them are doing it now online. So you log on to online banking, you apply there because the hold times are really long. Mortgages the same way. If you have to skip a mortgage payment, then you got to do what you got to do, right? But again, I don't want you stressing out about your credit. Your credit is going to fix itself. And if it doesn't, then we're going to fix it for you for free. Now, here's the really cool part about this whole thing. You're finally going to be able to afford a home. If you've been wanting to buy a home and it's just too expensive, you're going to be able to afford one finally. We just got to get your money right in the meantime. Get your debt down. Get your credit fixed. Houses are dropping right now 20%, 30%, 40%. They're dropping the prices. People are freaking out. Think about this. All of these people that bought houses or held onto their homes for Airbnb, they were relying on the Airbnb money to pay their mortgage. What are they going to do? This isn't just going to fix overnight. I heard yesterday that, excuse me, the casino officials are saying they're not going to reopen the Strip in Las Vegas until September, until Labor Day. Not Memorial Day, not in May, September. They are going to keep it closed all summer long. Why would they do that? Because there'll be billions of dollars of bailout money for the casinos, just like there is for the airline companies. Billions. Why reopen when you can sit back, not pay your employees, and then get billions of dollars in September? If this happens, this is a long-term thing. It's going to take us a while to get out of this mess. All because, in my opinion, the mainstream media, the elites of the world wanted to crash our economy, and I think it got a little out of control. So I won't go down that rabbit hole right now. The good news is that you're finally going to be able to buy a house. I think there'll be no money down programs. I think there'll be extremely low interest, like 2-3% interest, which is inflation rate. So I think you'll be able to move into a house, no money down. They're going to lower the credit down to next to nothing, but you still need to get some stuff cleaned up. They're going to give grants for the down payments. I think it's going to actually be good for you that wanted to buy a house and couldn't afford it. I think there'll be forgiveness for credit card debt. I think there might be some forgiveness for student loan debt. The student loan stuff's already postponed until the end of September. I think that'll get pushed out until January. They can't forgive it totally because it is 33% of our GDP for our country. So they can't go and just wipe out the student loan debt, but I think they can maybe wipe out the interest on it, which will help you, right? So you got to look at the positive side of it. Our world has changed completely. It will never be the same. They're calling it the Great Adjustment. We will work from home. Right now is the time that if you've ever had a desire to become an entrepreneur, to have your own company, now is the time to do it. During this last few weeks, so we're 20-something days into this thing, I've hired over 30 people. I will hire 500 before the end of the year. My company's growing. My financial services company, my credit repair business, Fortress Credit Pro, is growing like crazy. But my financial services company is growing, and because people are hurting right now, finances. There is no proper financial education out there, which is why I have the podcast, right? And why I did Your Credit Matters radio show for almost 7 years, 6 days a week, 2,000 episodes, because there's very little financial and credit education out there. And so I created a company with Ed Mylett called the Mylett Management.Group. If you follow me on social media, you've heard me talk about it. Ed and I and a few other people like John Elway, A-Rod, Damon John, Marshall Falk, and a few other people got together and created a financial services company, and we called it Mylett Management Group. We are building the world's biggest and most successful financial services company ever created. Our goal is to help 20 million families get their finances right. Our goal is to create 20,000 millionaires. 20,000. My goal is to hire 500 people by the end of the year to work with me, helping families like you get out of debt, learn how to pay little to no income taxes, or at least reduce your tax burden, increase your credit score, take the money that you're saving on the debt and invest it in real estate. That is what I'm doing. And in order to hire those kind of people, I need people like you. So if you are sitting at home right now listening to this, maybe you're working out, going for a walk or whatever, and you're like, I've always wanted to own my own company. I want to help people. I'm looking for people that are self-motivated, don't have to have any experience with money whatsoever. You can be a complete train wreck as long as you're not a felon and you've never been charged or convicted with a misdemeanor regarding money. So as long as you're not a felon, you've never been convicted of a misdemeanor regarding money, you're self-motivated, you have a desire and a passion to help people, and you want to learn about money, credit, and taxes, then reach out to me. And you can go to my website, rondylambert.com/MMG. That's rondylambert.com/MMG. Again, this is not a commercial for my financial services business. In fact, my entire podcast today was set up. I was going to do something completely different. And I don't know why I went down this route that I did. But I did. And here I am. So I'll do the other podcasts that I planned on doing. I'll do that next week. But for some reason, I felt like I need to do this for you today. So if you are struggling financially and you've always wanted to own your own business, you want to help people and you have a good heart and you want to make a difference, then go to my website, rondylambert.com/MMG for Mylett Management Group. That's going to take you to a landing page that talks about the financial services company that Ed and I created. It's going to let you register for our next business plan meeting where I show you the business plan, I show you the compensation plan, I show you all the details of how we're working with the largest companies in the world, the largest insurance companies in the world, the largest banks in the world, and how we've teamed up with them and how you can get involved with it. It doesn't cost a lot of money. It's like, I think a background check's $100. The training's like $25. So for a couple $100, you can own your own agency, and you can do this part-time. You can do it full-time. There's no minimum requirements. There's no quotas. The only requirement that we have is that you want to help people and you're not a felon, and that you're willing to put some hours in. You can do it part-time. I'm not asking you to quit your job if you have a job, but you can't do it in your spare time. All right. But if you got a couple hours a week that you can throw at this, you can get licensed. That's why you have to pass the background check with the felonies and misdemeanors with money. You got to get licensed. If you can pass the test, which is not hard, you log into a website. It's kind of like Netflix. You watch some videos. At the end of each video, there's a test based on what was covered in the video. The videos are like 3 to 5 minutes long. You watch the video, take the test, move on to the next one, so on and so forth. And then you get your life insurance license. Once you're licensed in one state, your home state, you can get licensed in almost all 50 states. Then you can write policies in all 50 states. Average sales process, about an hour. Average commissions, about $2,200. You make $2,200 an hour. You do that 3 times a month. 3 times a month. 3 policies a month. You make about $108,000 a year. Can you take that? Can you do that? We're providing you leads through a credit repair business, through Ed Mylett's Instagram page, through John Elway's Facebook page, through A-Rod's social media, through Marshall Faulk. He's a 4-time Hall of Fame football player. Working with Tim Cook from Apple, Phil Knight from Nike. This is all people involved in this business. Why they have me in it, I don't know. I feel very fortunate to be working with these guys and have direct access to these guys and be mentored and coached by these people, right? You can get involved with me. Couple $100, get started, work at home. Most of the appointments are via Zoom now. Now that we've gone through this great adjustment, you don't have to go out and meet with people. You can do it right over the computer, right on the phone. People are expecting that nowadays. Do 3 policies a month, make $108,000 a year. Do more than 3 policies. If you get 3 to 5 people underneath you, because it's your agency. And by the way, this is not MLM. Not an MLM, not multi-level marketing. It's not a pyramid scheme. This is your company, similar to like buying a franchise. You buy into it, you make money off of all of your employees. It's your company. You can sell it. It's residual. If something happens to you, you can will it to your family. So it's by far the best business model I've ever seen. Better than my credit repair, better than any other business I've ever been involved with. It is by far the best business model. It is booming right now because of COVID-19. I'll give you a reason, one reason. Did you know that if you test positive for COVID-19 right now, doesn't matter how old you are, you can never get life insurance, ever, as of right now. If you test positive for COVID-19, you can never get life insurance for the rest of your life. It's a pretty big deal. Our phones are ringing off the hook because people are like freaking out. 20-year-old kid, this morning I talked to a 23-year-old kid, 23 years old, $500,000 policy. It's like $25 a month. He's set now, 20-year term. So if he gets COVID-19, he's at least protected, and then you can actually extend that policy. But if he waits until he gets COVID-19, which is the flu, by the way, now they're thinking that we've had it for quite a while, that has been in California since September, and then all the flu that was hitting California in September, and Vegas, by the way, was actually COVID-19. And so we have a ton of people calling us because they want to get life insurance. And that's one of our products. We also do 401ks and pensions and IRAs and real estate and credit repair and all that other stuff. But life insurance is one of the things in there. So if you're interested in becoming your own business, your own boss, and working with people, go to my website, rondylambert.com/MMG. So enough about that. Back to the credit stuff. Do your best to make your payments on time. If you have to skip a payment, you got to skip a payment. If you get behind, they're not going to report you. You have until July to catch up your payments. If you can't catch up by July, it's okay. I will fix your credit for you free of charge. No strings attached. Don't have to buy anything from me. Don't have to do anything. Don't have to do so many referrals. Nothing like that. You simply go to my website, sign up for free credit repair. We'll do it for free. Yeah, you got to have credit monitoring service because we got to be able to see your credit every month to figure out what's left, right? But that's it. You got to pay for the credit monitoring service. If you have your own credit monitoring service already, then you can keep that. If not, I have my own that we can provide for you that actually works better than most that you have out there anyway. But if you already have some, maybe you have a credit card company and they provide you monitoring service for free, you simply give me the username and password and we log in and we use that. So if you can't make your rent or you can't make your mortgage, you need to call your landlord, work that out with them. On the mortgage, you need to work it out with your mortgage company. Car loan, they're not doing repos right now. They're not doing short sales. They're not doing foreclosures. Everything is kind of just paused. It's just paused. If you're not working and you want to look into working with me, joining my team, right now is a great time because we got at least 2 more weeks of this nonsense. At least 2 more weeks. If you're in California, you guys got another 4 to 6 weeks of this garbage. Now's the time at home to start studying, get licensed with us, and by the time this is over, you can be writing policies for my clients, for Ed's clients, for John Elway's clients, and making, $1,800 to $2,200 an hour. And because that's what it takes, about an hour to do a policy, meet with people. There's some behind the scenes stuff you got to do at home, but it's not really that difficult. It's really not. And do 3 policies a month, you make $100,000 a year. Maybe you only do 1 policy a month, just 1. Make 40, 50 grand extra. And again, I'm not asking you to quit your job. You can do this part-time. You can do it full-time. There's no quotas. You just can't do it in your spare time. So if you're interested in that, again, rondylambert.com/MMG. All right. Keep your head up. Keep plugging away. You got some spare time. Turn off Netflix. Go on Amazon. Get a good book to read. There's some great personal development books out there. Some financial books. Get your budget in order, your financial plan, and spend this time with your family. Get your health right, and come out of this better than when you went in. See you next week.